G'day guys, this is Sam Sari from Trade to Prosper, giving another technical analysis on another coin that I'm interested in for the long term. So while I'm doing that, I haven't looked at it, tell the truth, just this part. And while I'm doing it, I might as well just get others to look at it as well and give them some ideas. So why not? And if it increases my following, even better for me. And if people appreciate it, so be it. But I do it for the love of it, as well as the helping people out. And also, I might learn something new and answer some questions. So thanks for joining. If you haven't, you could see this recording. And I know people do come up to it later on, but just like it's an idea. It's an idea for me to do this because there's not many people that focus on altcoins in specific. So yeah, there's a lot that do Bitcoin, and I've been doing that for a while. But why not do the altcoins that are very specific? So here we go. What we have here is a ranging price, and what we've seen so far is clear a range of highs and lows. This one's a bit complicated, and so if we break the bottom, obviously it's going to go down much further. How much further, we can work that out, and how high would it likely to go? We can't do, we can't, what's the word? We cannot exclude Bitcoin from this discussion because um, it's the catalyst for the bull market or the bear market or either direction. So just making sure that you can hear me. If you can hear me, great. I think you can. I worked out the bugs. So looking at Bitcoin and looking at which I got here as well, SP 500 and the US dollar, things aren't looking that great. So I'll just get rid of that for a sec. We've seen it on many cases. The SP 500 is affiliated with or is in sync with Bitcoin, or Bitcoin is in sync with the bigger markets. And today we had a bit of a rejection. So this is a daily chart. Our gains have just been lost straight away. So we might go ranging here for a while, and that might be for Bitcoin as well, or we can continue down. So I had the bearish scenario, and I had the bit of the relief scenario, but I'm still looking down. I don't think we're going to get above. At the moment, this seems to be a bad resistance. So anyway, the point is, while it's bearish, Bitcoin's going to be bearish, and the alt's going to be bearish. And if we have the bearish mindset, we'll see how we go. All right. I had, just give me a sec. I think I deleted something that I shouldn't have deleted. It was in my chart. Give me a sec. That's the one. So if I do that, let's just look at our levels. I'll clean my chart up a bit. I had this Fibonacci from ages ago, and let's see if it's got confluence with any of this. So if I did this Fibonacci from this perspective, pretty much what I did was I did from that perspective, not knowing what the right's going to do. So this was my setting, and now what I'm going to look at is confluence. So what I'll do is I'll drag this across and see if there is alignment. And it looks good, doesn't it? So let's look at it a little bit closer. Far out. So we got support on the 1.418. So I haven't done this. So it's just an observation. And does Fibonacci work? It doesn't stop surprising me how Fibonacci comes into it. So for those who don't understand Fibonacci, this is going to be a bit difficult for you to understand. But the key levels of Fibonacci is the golden ratio, which is a 0.618. So what we have here is a 0.618 golden ratio. And the moment we lost that, you can see we really plummeted down, right? So the 618 was lost, and then we had actually support there, didn't we? Okay. So the 618 had support, and when we lost it, that's when we, I suppose it's in line with Bitcoin, but it has a story that lines up. So I'm pretty happy with that, because it means that it makes it easier for me to not try to guess much of this. Okay, so let's just get rid of the pricing value at the moment and just looking close. So what we have, realistically, like I was doing before, that's the range. but we definitely got the bottom at the 1.414. So when we look at targets from a Fibonacci perspective, the 1 is pretty important. So the 1 is important, and this is not as important, but the 1.4 and the 1.618 is usually the target for either the downside or the upside. And so these Fibonacci levels come into targets for forecasting targets, and the golden ratio pretty much here. Yeah. So the golden ratio, which is aligned, sort of aligned there, it actually came down a bit more, and you can see how this all works. If you lose it, it becomes a resistance. So what was prior support becomes resistance, and what's prior resistance becomes support if you break it. So we have some good alignment here, and now can we see any structure to this? So let's have a go at it. If I was to do this, maybe, all right, and let's bring it down a bit. I want to see if it's a reversal structure coming into play. Okay, so we might get some support here. If I do it yeah, I think that makes sense, doesn't it? So even though we've broken out of it in a bear market, it's not really doing much. So what we can do, we can say that's our A, B, C, D, and E. However, that doesn't mean it always starts from there. This is one perspective, and in general, if this is a descending wedge, okay, it does line up. So the heart line, the middle of it, the mean of this descending. So what does all this mean? It means that we have a chance to go up. But however, definitely it could be also very bearish. I do think with the mindset of Bitcoin, and if I don't know if I have it, let me see if Bitcoin's around. All right, I'll bring it here. Let's see what Bitcoin's on. I do believe Bitcoin might find support. Okay, so Bitcoin's not the best. This is the 1 hour chart. Okay. So Bitcoin pretty much has its own resistance, which I'm sure, I got closed off on that one too. I had a short going here and I got stopped out. So I think it's going to go up. I think it will bounce from here, and that's probably why I got stopped out. All right. So if I do believe Bitcoin might be, we have a few scenarios with Bitcoin, and not really. This is a continuation pattern, as far as I'm concerned, to the downside. And if I was to think there's a good chance for it to go up a bit, what do I have? As far as I know, that's the highest it can go. Yeah. The 1.618 is probably the highest it can go, and then we come back down. So if it does get support here, so that's a selling climax, automatic response. We can probably go from here up and do the wick off structure and then back down. And that might be, so if Bitcoin's going to do this type of thing, another continuation pattern of some sort, because we spent a lot of time here, so we're not going to spend too much time here. I could, so either you take it, that's the case, that we're going to drop. If we get a rally, we're going to drop, and I still have 17 to 18 or high 18k as one level. So I do feel like, whoops. So if we make that assumption that Bitcoin is going to drop, I have it around somewhere around here as one level, and really depends what this does to measure this, because we're going to do a Fibonacci extension. So if we will do a Fib extension, we can do from there to there, and depending where it drops, if it gets to that height here, if it gets to there, then that level is potentially in it, or this level. Yeah, we can potentially, and that's my other level. So I've got two levels, one there, and the 1.2. Yeah, so that fits into my model. So if that's the case, if we come down to there, optimism is potentially going to come down to this level. Yeah, potentially. What we can do, if that's a level, let me just try this out. Actually, let me do the other way. Give me a sec. I'm going to reverse that. And okay, I'll put the log on that. That doesn't help. Let's see what this does. Okay, so we've got levels potentially to that. So this structure, we've seen when in bearish cases where the structure just goes down, that's a fake. This is going to be a fake out, comes back down, and then we have this accumulation type of stuff, and then back up. So that is a big drop potentially. So from there to there is another 30-something%, 37%. I'll be looking to average in there. Definitely, I'll look for capitulation around there. So I might put some orders there just to start averaging in. It just really depends how it does it. But we have our layers. So we've got this layer as well for the mid step. So what we can say is, if this was a breakdown, we could find reprieve here, which aligns with this, and Bitcoin drops further down to this level, then that will potentially end up with the 30 cents range. I'll be comfortable, start looking to average in there, even probably there, to tell the truth. Really, we still need to see it, but let's have another perspective. Swing high, swing low, swing high, and again, we have some confluence with the fibs. If I was to grab this and bring up to this level, no, that's not the chart I wanted. I want this one here. Where is it? Okay, there you are. Need a higher there to the wick. Okay, so it can work. Could be worse too. I still feel comfortable with this. That this range 0 to 1 will give us this level here. Okay, so let's put that back where it was. I'm still happy with that, and this could actually be further down to more down potentially. So as far as 18 cents, it could go really down. And it depends on Bitcoin, obviously. But yeah, so this is my average range. So if I would be looking to average in, there we go, where we go. So that 1.618. If I just do this, back to the log. we have that there, that range as one. We need to just get rid of those for a sec. Let's see how we go with this. So far, so good. I want to try something else as well. Give me a sec. I'm going to try the Fib fan. It's not going to really help this one. I don't know if we've got any reference to tell the truth. What I want to do is reverse engineer. Let me see. Let me just make it darker for a sec. Default. Where's my one? Okay. Damn it, I can't find where the reference point is. So do it again. Okay, here we go. So if that's the bottom, I just want to see if it's aligned. Where's our 0.4? 1/4. So if that's the bottom, does that line up? Yes, it does. Far out, it does line up. So we'll get the middle. Line. Yeah, it does line up, except for this top one. Okay, so this could line up perfectly, which is about 23 cents or so. Anywhere along this line, pretty much, could be a reversal in this box. So that's another way of just trying to figure out something. If you know what Fib fans are about, then you probably have an understanding. But we do have confluence, and if it drops here, that's another potential range, or anywhere there along this line. I think this line might be, never know, but it's just a line in the sand, trying to figure it out. So yeah, there we go. So what do we have? Trying to make it too complex. Get rid of all this. So I'll just move that aside. And back to our original setting. Let's look at on the 4 hour now. Let's see how that looks. It's downward pressure, although this has come up a fair bit, it's still coming down. So we're not out of the clear, but there is definitely bullish divergence coming on the 4 hour. If I do the daily, it's useless. There's nothing there. That's what's hard. There's not much history. So I can't use it. If I use 12 hour, we only get a little bit of indicators. This is what makes it hard. The 4 hour, we can see bullish divergence on the 4 hour, but on the daily we can't tell. So, but the bullish divergence doesn't mean shit in the bear market. So back to our, oh geez, what chart we're on? Looking on the 1 hour, it's still downward momentum, although I don't want to see the MAC, so we can get rid of that. And there is no upward pressure at all with this indicator. Well, there is, but it's, if we get a bounce from here, we might be able to get some leverage up to the upside. I'll just be trading. I would not be looking for accumulation yet. That's the main point. So if we were to just look at this, You can trade it if you know how to trade it. I would be trading the bottoms and the tops, the ranges, and this area makes sense. But if the price comes down here, it's probably good to get in. And I think there'll be a rally. And midway, we'll find out if there is resistance, if it's done. So if we go A, B, C, D, okay. That could be our E there, all right. So we can say, potentially, that's our A, B, C, D. E could be anywhere here. Could be the top. That could be a reversal. This is a double bottom, potentially. So what we have is price finding a bottom, find another bottom, and then potentially just going up a bit. That could be our level. That's one level. And if you want to trade that, if you want to play it safe, there's levels to it. You want to see it. You might do that. You want to see this as an entry. You get better off having a go from here, having a stop loss a bit tight. So definitely not too low. So at the moment we have, let's get rid of this stuff. So really, so we had 1 week there. That was a bit of a dip. So your stop loss, you could, if it comes down a bit more, or it might just continue on. You might get a reversal here because we had a lot of support. So we've got this as a potential entry. And what you want to see is, unfortunately, it's a 30-minute chart, so you can't really do much. But if you get free candles, it's worth going in. At the moment, it looks weak with those candles, but it could get a reversal. So we can have a chance here. And it could come down to this level here. Yeah. There is that slight possibility, looking at this, that can come a bit further down. So it could potentially come a bit further down. We don't know what formations are taking place, but I could see that this potentially can be a broadening wedge. Jeez. So yeah, we can get there again. This looks all right. So that looks like a reversal structure taking place. So again, just depends. This area looks, if it drops to that level, I'll be interested in getting into it, so I can get pushed down all the way. And you've got to be brave, and you've got to look for signals. I would, if it comes down here, if it comes down hard like this, a bit harder, actually one of these hard ones, it will spring up pretty hard. You want to see a bullish candle, and if it regains this level, you jump in. Okay, so if it drops hard and regains this level, jump in. If it's slow, then you got to be careful and look for maybe 3 green candles in a row before you jump in to go and take your profits as it goes up to there. Start taking a profit on that one there, 58 cents. Take some percentage and so on. That is one bullish scenario before it comes back down. I don't see it going up, but I could be wrong. And that's pretty much it. And these are the targets. So we have our target here. So once we work this out, what happens? At the moment, we only got this line here. All right. That's the only line we got for the bottom. And this is the only line we got for the top. And as long as we know, actually this one here, if we get a high, our reference point will be different for the bottom. So we need to see how it finishes before it breaks to work out the bottom. And at the moment, I'm using this range as my 0 and 1, and therefore I get the fib extensions. Make sense? So at the moment, we can potentially be our next drop could be potentially here. And we've done the other one as well. Yep. I don't think it could come all the way down, but you never know. What I was saying before, let's have a look. Was that fib? With the assumption that we can have that range as well. With the assumption that that's the top, that's the resistance. I'll put in red. That's the current top, and this is the current bottom. If that's the case, these lines are sufficient. If it goes higher, then we need to extend this Fibonacci higher, and therefore these things will move up higher. But that's about it at the moment. I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully it gives you some idea on how to approach this. The goal of this is to give you some insight. Now, that's the bearish perspective, and I do believe we are bearish looking at this scenario. This is not, if this was to go up, if the SP5, even so, there's no guarantee, but if this was to go up and break that, then we have a better rally for Bitcoin and for this, and this will be then a reversal. It'll be pretty much a reversal. So where is it? So looking at the SP500, the US dollar, then this could be a continuation. So this structure could be pretty much a reversal structure, but still to come down. It just means that we'll get higher targets. And we can discuss that later. But I don't see it going really high. Not the SP500 with the Fed, with the inflation rates and what they said with the interest rates, with the inflation rates and the interest rates, yep. And what we have with the US dollar, if we look at the US dollar in the daily, it's probably just going to find support there. It looks like that's going to be support and continue on to the upside. Definitely. Yep. So you might just pull back a bit, find support. It's pulling back, but it's going to find support and just potentially go higher when the interest rates are going to increase next monthly basis. But if they don't, then the US dollar comes down. So at the moment, I do see the US dollar continue to go up, sideways first, and then continue to go up. It's pretty much a massive bull run. And these are the things that we need to consider as we go. We need to factor these buggers in. And that's what I got, guys. The bullish scenario really depends on the US dollar and the SP500 and the NASDAQ, as well as Bitcoin. I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. For those that came late, you can replay this. It's also on the YouTube as well. It's streaming to both. And if you've got any questions, I'll try to answer them. But yeah, that is. So if I was to enable it, we have structure. Just to complete the discussion, we have this structure. I don't know why that went out the way. We've got a structure like that. We have a fib fan that maybe complement it along the way. So if we to get the logs, this fib level could be the resistance. So if we were to go bullish, this fib line, because there's a bit of a poke out there, but the rest of it is probably close to it, and we come back down. We've got the 1.4. So if we were to go bullish, we've got these levels, and even that one there, if we were to go bullish, but I don't see that happening, to tell the truth. But if we were to go, we've got these levels to go high. This will be a strong resistance. So this level here, let's see. Yeah, that definitely there. That will be strong resistance to the middle of it. If I was to do a volume profile, give me a sec. One thing I didn't do, let's just have a look at this volume profile. Let's see what it gives us. Okay, so what we have strong resistance here, and at the moment, right in the middle of it is our what seems to be resistance at the moment. So I can lift this up a bit more, and that's pretty much the one. So if we were to go bullish, we need to get past these buggers. So this level is resistance level along with that. So we've got those fibs, and if we were to go more bullish, this will be the most we can go, and back down. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Thanks for joining, and stay tuned for my next stream.